Everybody, welcome back. This is Dr. Pearlman from Paramount Chiropractic and Wellness in Richardson, Texas, serving DFW and beyond for your chiropractic needs. Okay, so I wanted to make this video, and this is going to be shorter than my previous couple of weeks. I really want to get these to be able to condense this because, as many of you may have seen, I have a tendency to ramble on. But in all honesty, I wanted to make this video today, and I want to cover something that Albert Einstein said it so well. He said it perfectly. He said, "The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen all at once." In chiropractic, we refer to what are our principles. And one of them, okay, it's actually principle number 6. Principle number 6 states, there is no process that does not require time. So what does this mean, and how does that apply to wisdom of the week? So the reality is, I think what we should all kind of take from that, let's assume that we're all working towards something, okay? So say you're starting a new diet or a lifestyle that requires you to eat a certain way, right? So you know I'm big into the keto world, big ketogenic diet proponent. I really like keto. It changed my life for the better. And I think that there are certain people, of course there's a subset of people it won't work with, but for the ones that it will work, I think that one of the main takeaways is the amount of time you need to give to see the benefits. It does not work over the course of 3 or 4 days. If anything, you'll begin to feel worse. It does not work in a week, sometimes even up to a month. These things require time to see the changes, requires time to reap the benefits. For those of us that may be going to school, or you're going back to school, or you're in the midst of your education, I remember there was times late in my education, especially the undergrad, when we were doing physics, chemistry, organic chemistry, right? Really hard classes. A lot of us can relate to that. We remember those days. They weren't fun at all. In order to accomplish what you set out for, you're going to have to go through these hard trials and tribulations. And remember, it's not easy, right? That's a 4-year degree. The point I'm making is it takes time. You cannot force these things. You cannot read a chapter once. You can't do 30, questions for homework and expect that you'll get all the answers right on your physics exam. You can't expect that you eat 4 eggs and a little bit of heavy cream each meal for 3 days for 2 weeks and reap the benefits of eating like a whole food, plant-based ketogenic diet, or even a carnivore, cutting out all the other grains and legumes and vegetables that may have been contributing to you not feeling so good prior, right? We can't go to our healthcare practitioner and say, how come I got one massage or one adjustment or one acupuncture treatment and I'm not feeling any better, it didn't work, right? Healing takes time. Anything worthwhile, these things take time. Otherwise, everybody would wake up tomorrow morning and have their well-established own business running it the way that they want, right? Anyone would start a blog, start a podcast, start to make movies. As an example, Steven Spielberg didn't wake up one day and just make Jaws and, boom, cut, he's done, hand it in, have it put out in front of screens everywhere and then become, the most sought after director in Hollywood. No, he went through lots and lots of trials and tribulations, lots of ups and downs while making that movie to then finally fight through and get it to be on screen. And despite what some critics thought would be a disaster, ended up being this mega super hit. And people were scared of the beach then forever. Same thing applies to whatever it is that you're doing that's going to take that amount of work. I have just 2 pieces of advice, 2 tips that might help you. Number 1, keep a journal. Even if it's just a little notebook with handwritten notes. If you make a to-do list and call that your journal on a Microsoft document, or if you can just get blank pieces of paper and you can keep it organized, keep a journal. And whether it's what you did or didn't do that might have worked to get you closer to your goals, whether it was chipping away each day or at the end of the week, you can look back and see what you did that helped you get to your goal. So what did you do in your journal that actually helped you achieve your goal? Or what you might have actually done to keep you from reaching your goal. So keeping a journal to look at some of the pros and cons, to look at writing down things on a schedule to be able to best utilize your time. And then the second thing I would say is, say you are starting to exercise, especially with everything that's gone on in the world. I think a lot of people are starting to take ownership of their health. Well, one is we have to have good food in us to run on good nutrition, to give our body the energy that it needs to be able to be successful in our endeavors towards having a healthier body, a slimmer physique, more lean mass, less body fat. So one of the things I would suggest is please start slow. Whether you're coming off a devastating injury or whether you are trying to lose weight or whether you're trying to build muscle, start slow. Don't go out there and get a bunch of supplements and then just go ham, right? Hard as a motherfucker. Like, we don't want to just do that. You don't want to just jump right out there, because that is inevitably going to lead to an injury, set you back, and then you'll be far behind where you want to be and you'll have to start all over again. And being on the couch is one of the ways that we start eating bad and things fall apart. So it's a little bit humbling, especially for those that may have had athletic prowess in their background. If you were a great, forget great. If you were a football player, a track star, a basketball player, somebody who was a cross country or long distance runner who now has to get back, just remember it's okay to start slow. 5 mile an hour type trot on the treadmill, walking and cycling slowly on the bike to begin to build up your lung capacity, to begin to be able to kind of transition from feeling very sluggish to more active. And then from there, with a journal, I recommend keeping a journal for exercise too, you can kind of begin to build up, because you'll be able to track your progress. They have lots of great apps out there for that now. I still go pen and paper. Makes me feel like I accomplished something extra. That's directly associated with there is nothing worth doing that does not require a good amount of time in order for it to be really seen on the back end as this great benefit and something that's added a lot of value to your life. So I suggest that we start keeping journals and we can start making goals, for the day. Foods that you eliminated, foods that you added, what made you feel the best, tracking progress, understanding that you got to stick with certain things for a certain amount of time to reap the benefits. And of course, whatever it is you start doing, don't go at it all the way 100%, not just to exercise. Start slow and build to then be able to recoup in the future. It's all about the long game. It doesn't happen overnight. Guys, stay strong, stay blessed. Until next time, Dr. Pearlman out.